matchup to matchup. Okay, so obviously what the people want to see is Caitlyn versus Paige. We're gonna do this. Who wins the matchup between Caitlyn and Paige? I already know what you're gonna say.
All right, let's dive right in, because we are about to break down a matchup that has the entire basketball world buzzing. Let's get to it.
We saw a WNBA post about 2024 versus 2025 all rookie teams. Who wins a game to 21? Why is it 21? Why can't it just be who wins a game?
No,
why's it gotta be 21?
Because people played at 21. That's what they
21 is like not 5-on-5. 21 is like, yo, check up. We got 3 people. You never played jackpot.
Yeah, but
Come on, man.
You can't just play to 21. Like, what's the point with 21?
I want a full game. And we're going to go down the list. This is kind of tough. I'm not going to lie. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoza, Rickea Jackson, Phoebish versus 2025, which is Paige Bueckers, Sonia Citron, Kiki Irifen, Dominique Malonga, and Janelle.
My girl, Caitlyn? Wait, what did she just say? Okay, you heard that right. The legendary Candace Parker and the powerhouse Aliyah Boston just tackled the epic Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers debate on their podcast. And let me tell you, their unfiltered answers are sending shockwaves across the internet. Now, keep in mind, this isn't just a couple of random fans yelling on Twitter. We're talking about WNBA champions, some of the most respected minds in the game, giving their raw, unfiltered opinions on who would actually dominate in a head-to-head battle. And what they revealed might seriously challenge everything you thought you knew about this rivalry. Before we unpack exactly what Candace and Aliyah said, and dig into why it's stirring up so much controversy, I need to know where you stand. Drop it in the comments right now. Are you on Team Caitlyn or are you riding with Team Paige? Because after you hear what these WNBA icons think, you just might find yourself switching side.
I can't even lie though. Hear me out. I low-key think 2024 would win that.
They definitely have.
All right, so let's set the scene properly. Candace Parker, a certified legend and one of the dreams to ever grace a basketball court, and Aliyah Boston, a dominant force in the future of the league, just dropped a must-listen episode of their podcast. They didn't just casually mention the topic. They dove headfirst into the debate that has been absolutely dominating basketball conversations for months now. Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers. And they didn't hold back one bit. I'm talking a full-blown deep-dive breakdown of the matchups, a meticulous comparison of their unique skill sets, and their brutally honest opinions on who would actually walk away with the win in a high-stakes game. And trust me when I say this, the takes they delivered are causing a massive reaction, with fans and analysts all across the basketball community weighing in.
Let's go matchup to matchup. Okay, so obviously what the people want to see is Caitlyn versus Paige. We're going to do this. Who wins the matchup between Caitlyn and Paige? I already know what you're going to say.
So how did this whole explosive conversation even begin? It all started with a seemingly simple question posed in a WNBA social media post. A question designed to get the fans talking. They asked, if the 2024 rookie class faced off against the 2025 rookie class in a game to 21, who would win? Right away, Aliyah Boston had a problem with the format, questioning why it was a short game to 21 instead of a full, regulation game. Candace tried to explain it's a classic pickup game format, but Aliyah wasn't buying it. She wanted the context of a full game to really analyze how it would all unfold. And honestly, she has a fantastic point. A quick sprint to 21 doesn't tell you about rotations, fatigue, or how coaches make game-changing adjustments. But let's get to the rosters, because this is where things get really fascinating. The 2024 squad featured Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, and Rickea Jackson. The 2025 team countered with Paige Bueckers, Sonia Citron, Kiki Irifen, and Dominique Malonga. Both teams are absolutely loaded with talent, but their dynamics are worlds apart, which is what makes this debate so compelling. Candace immediately pointed out the huge advantage for the 2024 class: shooting. And let's be honest, that's a massive understatement. With Caitlin Clark, who is arguably the greatest shooter in the history of women's basketball, the entire geometry of the court changes. Her limitless range forces defenses to stretch out, opening up lanes and opportunities for everyone else on her team.
Sonia Citron and Rickea. We'll do Rickea. Sonia Citron and Rickea.
I still think Rickea can win that. You think Sonia's gonna win that?
That is more of like a coin toss, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Skill set wise, they actually play very similar, but I do think system wise it's different. So we're seeing different skill sets.
That's true.
Because Rickea doesn't play in Sonia's.
But then they started digging into the individual matchups. And this is where the real fireworks began. They got to the main event, the one matchup that would sell out any arena in the world, and absolutely shatter television viewership records. Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers. We are talking about two generational guards. Two of the most skilled players to come out of college basketball in the last decade, both with championship DNA and massive global followings. So, who wins that epic one-on-one battle? Aliyah Boston didn't hesitate for a single second. She looked right at Candace and said, "My girl, Caitlin." Now that statement is significant for so many reasons. First, you have to remember, Aliyah is Caitlin's teammate on the Indiana Fever. She sees firsthand, day in and day out, what Caitlin is capable of at the highest level. She knows the relentless work ethic, the intense preparation, and the ice-cold ability to perform under pressure. This isn't just fandom, it's a powerful endorsement from someone in the trenches with her. Second, Aliyah is one of the smartest, most cerebral players in the entire WNBA. She doesn't just throw out hot takes for clicks. When she says Caitlin would win, it's a calculated assessment based on an intimate knowledge of both players' games. And Candace's reaction was just as telling. She clearly anticipated that answer, but she didn't push back, which speaks volume. Candace Parker is a Hall of Famer who has seen it all, and if she's not immediately disagreeing with the idea that Caitlin beats Paige head-to-head, that tells you just how legitimate that take truly is. Of course, this debate is about so much more than just basketball. It's about compelling narratives, media coverage, and the direction of the sport. Caitlin's steady 4-year climb to become a college legend versus Paige's incredible journey of battling back from devastating injuries. Both are incredible stories, but the question of who is better will always ignite passionate arguments.
Angel and Kiki.
Let me tell you, that would be one heck of a matchup.
Right?
That would really be one heck of a matchup.
That's why I said 21 isn't enough.
You're right. We probably should do a full game.
After the main event, they moved on to the next fascinating matchup. Sonia Citron versus Rickea Jackson. Candace immediately called that one a coin toss, and Aliyah quickly agreed. You're looking at two incredibly versatile wings who can score, defend, and impact the game in countless ways. But this is where Candace dropped a truly sophisticated piece of analysis, pointing out how much a player's system influences our perception of them. She noted that we see different skill sets emphasized because Rickea isn't playing in Sonia's system, and vice versa. That is such a sharp way to evaluate talent. Think about it, the system a player is in can either maximize their strengths or mask them. How good a player looks is often directly tied to the offensive and defensive schemes they're a part of. Rickea Jackson plays for the Los Angeles Sparks in a system that might not showcase every single tool in her arsenal. Sonia Citron will land somewhere next year in a system that could be completely different. So to really compare them fairly, you have to mentally remove them from their current situations and analyze their skills in a vacuum, which is exactly what the best basketball minds do. Next up, they turned their attention to the battle in the paint. Angel Reese versus Kiki Iriafen. And you could hear the genuine respect in both Candace and Aliyah's voices, as they agreed it would be one hell of a battle. Aliyah put it perfectly. That would really be one heck of a matchup, and it's because both Angel and Kiki play with an unbelievable level of physicality, a relentless motor, and an intensity that never wavers. That matchup would be a pure clash of wills. All effort and all energy from tip-off to the final buzzer. This brought Aliyah right back to her earlier point about a game to 21 being insufficient. For a gritty physical war like Angel versus Kiki, you need a full game to see who truly comes out on top. A short pickup game can be decided by a lucky bounce. But over a full 40 minutes, skill, conditioning, and basketball IQ always rise to the surface. So, after running through all the matchups, Candace finally made her official pick. She's going with the 2024 class to win it all, primarily because of their massive shooting advantage. But then she dropped an incredible piece of foresight, saying that long-term, Dominique Malonga from the 2025 class might become one of the best post players to ever play in the WNBA. That is unbelievably high praise coming from a legend like Candace, who highlighted Dominique's rare combination of size, skill, and court vision. This then led them down a fun path of comparing their own rookie classes. Candace's stacked 208 class versus Aliyah's 20. Aliyah tried to be diplomatic, but when Candace pressed her for the truth, her response was perfect. I would be lying and I would hate to get up on this pod and start lying. That raw honesty is what makes these discussions so great. She knew the 2008 class was on another level. This whole conversation peels back the curtain on how professional players evaluate talent. They see the game on a different plane, considering systems, matchups, and long-term potential. And the fact that Aliyah, who competes with Caitlyn every single day, chose her so definitively in the matchup against Paige, carries an immense amount of weight. It's more than a homer pick, it's an expert opinion based on first-hand evidence. But ultimately, the fact that we're even having these passionate debates is a huge victory for women's basketball. It generates interest, drives engagement, and grows the game for everyone. This Caitlyn versus Paige rivalry is the defining storyline of this generation, and it's only just getting started. So what do you think? Do you agree with Aliyah's assessment, or is Paige still your number one? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button, and subscribe for more women's basketball content. This debate is far from over. See you next time.